Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC is right around the corner, but that doesn't mean that you can't start preparing for it now. So in today's video, I'm going to give you some pieces of advice that you need to do or should do to get prepared for the next DLC and your next adventure in Pokemon Legends ZA. Let's talk about it. What's up guys, Canadian Guy A and the Shiny Canuck here, and today we're going to be going over some tips and tricks that I have kind of accumulated over the past little bit to get prepared for Mega Dimension DLC. Now, of course, we know that it's not out yet, we don't know all the details. However, skimming through the trailer and looking at leaks, there are some obvious things that stand out that we can actually do to prepare for when the game launches so that you're a little bit ahead of the curve. So before we even dive in the game, step one, you have to finish the main story. That is very obvious and very much upfront, and basically the only obvious hint that's going to be on this list. You need to finish the main story. So if you don't even have the main story done, go through and get them all done. You don't have to get all the side quests done, just the main story, because you want to be able to get through Hoopa's Dimensions right away on day one. You got to make sure that you have the main story finished. Now, the second thing that you want to do is that you need to start getting some cash. Now, of course, there are a bunch of different ways in terms of efficiency, in terms of actively playing, but I'm going to show you 2 or 3 ways that I actually like for getting cash real quick. The first one's actually kind of simple, and it's actually going through and doing the ZA Royale. Now, many of you may have heard about the ZA Royale and some of the records that are being set with it, where people are literally getting like 70 wins in one night. I'm not going to show you how to get 70 wins, but I'm going to show you kind of a real cheap way on how to be able to get as many wins as possible. And the nice thing is that you can accumulate up to 30, 40, sometimes even 50 wins, and that in itself will earn you quite a bit of cash. So we're going to start a fresh zone right at night, and here's what you're going to do. The first thing that you're going to do is right when you hit pause. Remember, when you pause, the in-game clock stops, so you don't have to worry about things going funny and you losing times, and you can kind of strategize. Typically, I start with the top zone. So we're gonna go up here, and I'm gonna use Dragonite because Dragonite has extreme speed. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna start, and the first Pokemon that you see, you're just gonna hit extreme speed and hit them. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to start moving towards where you think there's going to be some other Pokemon. Now, if you're familiar with the areas, when you're in battle mode, the clock doesn't move. I could run around here all day, and as long as my Pokemon are alive, that clock don't move. So I'm just going to kind of begin to pull myself away towards where I know where there's another trainer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately turn. See that? Extreme speed. Boom. Now I'm once again in a battle, and what I'll do is I'll take a quick look-see around just to see and be like, hey, are there any other areas here where I think Pokemon could be? And there might be a battle over here, but there is a ladder to take me to the roof. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to then do this. We're just going to take him out. I also have a Shell Bell on the Dragonite because that will allow you to recover your moves much faster. And then we're going to turn and look and see, is there anybody here? No, but like I said, there is a ladder. Essentially, you want to be trying to get into as many battles as possible, stopping the clock and then positioning yourself for the next fight, right? So, when you fill your pass, don't go to Quizartico right away. Just wait till the end of the night. It's faster this way. See, there's a whole bunch of guys up here. Smack. Now, you know that there's other people over here, but because we entered the battle instance, it is going to simply not show them where they are. We're going to take them out. And then we know that we're going to be immediately into another fight over here. We turn. Boom, right there. And you can do this over and over and over again. The more wins that you collect, the higher the multiplier is for your medals as well. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to come over here. If I can't see another challenger almost instantly, I'm going to pause the game, and I'm just going to go to the next battle zone. Once I've gotten through a few wins, if I don't see anybody that I can battle, We just fast travel to the next zone. That's it. Simple as that. Don't worry so much about like the cards. Just focus on wins. Just focus on getting those wins. The cards are a nice bonus, but your main focus is wins. Now I'm going to climb up this ladder here. I don't see anybody particularly close. I saw some people. All right, taking too long. Go to the next one. And what's nice is that the first zone that we went to, they're starting to refresh. So all the people that we did fight, they're all getting refreshed. So for example, we're at 15 wins. And if we look at the clock in the top left corner, we're like a third of the way through the night, which means you could easily get to 45, 50 wins. Now, I can't see someone immediately in my vicinity. We're going to go all the way back to that first battle zone that we started. And you're going to see, before where we saw Phalanx, when we run in, we're going to see a completely different Pokemon. We see Charizard now. And all the people that we beat are now back. They're all back now. So yeah, you get it. I'm just kind of showing a quick run through here of me running through and doing this literally by leashing and pulling it away, and then right as I defeat the Pokemon, you turn and rotate and you start the next Pokemon. I'm showing you this through a quick fast forward motion because I know there's a lot of people online who will tell you how to do these things and not really prove it, or do some weird manipulation to prove their point, and that's not really what I want to do. I want to make sure that everyone can see clear as day and that it's evident that this works. And yeah, and by the end we hit 50 wins, just like I had said previously before. So yeah, let's get back to the video. That's 50. So we hit 50 wins, and now a new day is dawning. So here's how much money we made. It took us about 40 minutes. We'll just say 330. We'll say 330, rounding down a bit, but about 330 in about 40 minutes. The other way is if you have an 8-bit Do controller, which I've had some people ask about this, so I will actually leave this in an affiliate link in the description below if you want to support the channel, and also nab yourself a controller that I highly recommend. That's been a real big help. So once you're done and you're in the post game, you can go to Hotel Richesme, or you can go to one of like the restaurants. And what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to grab a Metagross, and you're going to want to teach it Zen, at least have Heavy Slam. Let me show you. Give it an Assault Vest, teach it Heavy Slam, Adamant Nature with Perfect IVs in HP and Attack. And with the 8-bit Do controller, you can have a macro setup to where it quite literally is nothing but L2, which is targeting, and A, L2A, L2A, L2A. That's it. That's all it is. So now what you do is that you make sure also that you have Heavy Slam in the A selection, because you want to move the move so that it's an A. And all you do is you hit your macro. You hit your macro. What happens is that you get into a battle. She heals you after every battle. And here's the thing, is that my 8-bit Do controller is just doing its job. That's it. Take a look. See that little light going off, right? And because all of our Pokemon are fairy types, they're going to take either normal damage or heavy damage from steel types. And that's it. And you have an Assault Vest on just to kind of deal with Aurora. Even get hit by Blizzard, doesn't matter. You'll be fine. Ah, see? I did get frozen, but I won't die. We will bend, but we will not break. So this is kind of like worst case scenario. See? Boom. That's it. We're still at half health. Out comes Clefable. See? There we go. And then you get 8,100 gold from beating her. So if you wanted to do another one, you just let it go. And this is just AFK, completely AFK. And you'll see now when we get to the next battle, you throw Metagross back out, and Metagross is at full health. And give or take, it takes about 2 minutes. So the first method I showed you actually earns you gold at 8,250 Pokédollars per minute. And doing it with this way earns you 4,050 gold per minute. However, this way is AFK. So now that we have some cash, why are we having so much of it? Well, for two reasons. One, we need to start buying some berries. Now, if you don't know, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of berry stalls, and there are quite a few that are very helpful. If you look at the trailer, it tells you that by using berries, you actually can craft different donuts, and those donuts will help you with Hoopa, and it will allow you more time or give you more power in these different mega dimensions that will allow you to battle tougher Pokemon and catch up more rare Pokemon and have more time. So you need berries. So as you run around, you'll be collecting a whole bunch of items on the ground. If you check your satchel, you probably already have a bunch of berries. Cherry berries, chesto berries, there's a whole bunch of them. But there's also some more rare berries like Kelpsie berries or Qualat berries, Greppa berries. There's a whole bunch of berries that are a little bit more on the rare side. And if you're going to be running around and grabbing some, well, it's going to be a pain in the butt to be able to know which berries are which for certain ingredients. So what you can do is that there are a whole bunch of berry stalls throughout the entire city. And I'll show you one of them. You see area 3? The enclave to the left right here. You could go to area 3 and take the Holovator and jump down there. You can do that. But if you head into this little enclave over here, you can grab a whole bunch of berries and also mints. Mints are very important, right? You can get an adamant mint over here. But you see these vendors here. You go up and you talk and you can get an Aka berry, which is quite rare. A Pasho berry, a Wakan berry, Rindo, Yachi, and Choplul. Choplul? Charlie Chaplin? Anyway, every berry stand will provide different berries and can give at different rarities. So if you go to different ones, I get a Kaiba berry, a Shuka, Koba, Papaya, Tanga, Charti. Once the DLC comes out, we're going to be able to determine what berries we need. And if you have a lot of gold, right, it can just cost 200 gold and that's it. But the other thing is that you're going to want to pay attention to is Pokeballs. Now, the reason why we're talking about Pokeballs is simply because, well, we know that you're only going to have a limited time in the Mega Dimension, so you're not going to be able to have a lot of time to explore. You got to kind of race through to be able to catch Pokemon. And what you're going to want is you're going to want a lot of these. These are Quick Balls, and Quick Balls allow you to be able to catch Pokemon before they see you. So if you're racing through and you don't got a lot of time, you could be firing quick balls, quick balls, quick balls. You also could be throwing repeat balls if you've already caught the Pokemon before, and there might be some extra Mabel research tasks. So you're going to want the gold and the money that you just earned to save up for different berries for you to use to create donuts, and also to get different Pokeballs for when the Mega Dimension comes in, because you're probably going to be wasting quite a few of them. The next step is preparing your Pikachus. Now, a lot of people think are going to be real easy about this one, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with it. So if you don't know, there's going to be two different kinds of Mega Raichus that are going to be introduced in the next DLC. Mega Raichu Y and Mega Raichu X. Now, if you know me, I like going for those shinies. So I'm going to show you where to get a Pikachu, where to get an Alpha Pikachu, where to get a shiny Pikachu, and best of all, how to get your shiny Alpha Pikachu, which we will evolve later when we get to the DLC. So first things first is that we're going to go to the most obvious area, which is Wild Zone 3. Once we get there, you're going to see that there are Pikachus over here. We can even see there's an Alpha Pikachu there, even better. So we're going to go in here. Oh, wait. Wait. This game in a nutshell. There we go. Didn't plan that. Did not plan that. That's hilarious. Hi there. Yes. Angry little goat. Uh-huh. I see how angry you are. So mad. Big mad. There you go. Hop away. Skedaddle away. Bye. So Wild Area 3. Wild Zone 3. We're going to walk over here, and in the corner here you can see there are 3 Pikachus. Now we actually have an Alpha there, and there's 2 other Pikachus. Now, this is going to be the area that you're going to want to be able to shiny hunt. In this area, there's a few methods that you can do. If you want to shiny hunt for every Pokemon in this area, you're going to want to sit on this bench right here. This is the perfect bench. This bench captures everything. It captures Espurr, it catches Pikachu, it catches all the Litleos and the potential Panchams. It even gets the Alpha Litleo. It gets everything. So if you want all the Pokemon in the wild area re-rolled, just bench right here. However, you know, we're just focusing on Pikachu. That's all we're focusing on. There is a bit of a faster way. So if you're going for Pikachu, all you're going to want to do is just fast travel to Wild Zone 3. And that's it. Because when you fast travel to Wild Zone 3 over and over and over again, it will reset all the Pokemon within 50 meters, and these 3 Pikachus are all within 50 meters. So if you want to specifically focus on trying to get shiny Pikachu, then this is the best spot. However, if you're looking for an alpha or a shiny alpha, this may not be the best spot. How do I know? Well, let me show you. Over here, we have my free ZA Shiny Hunt Calculator, which you can grab in the link in the description below. It is completely free. It's reusable on computer and phones. If you go over here, we're going to click Advanced, and we're going to go with the fast travel method for here. So when we fast travel to Wild Area 3, there's approximately 8 Pokemon that spawn when we fast travel to 3. If we use the fast travel method, but there are only 3 Pikachus. And they are isolated. They're the only ones there. You can choose your specific gender if you want the Pikachu with the regular tail or the heart tail. Include alphas in the hunt. We're going to say yes. And then we're going to include non-guaranteed alphas. We're going to say all 8. And we're going to say that all 8 have the 5% chance. That's going to ask us if we're looking for a specific shiny alpha. And it's going to use the information that we have from up here down here. And we know that Pikachu, according to Cerebi, has a 5% chance of being alpha. So if we click Calculate Hunt, the average time for any shiny to pop up will be about 10 minutes. Any time for a shiny Pikachu to show up, on average, will take about 28 minutes and 27 seconds. So if you want a shiny Pikachu in about 30 minutes, you just keep fast traveling to Area 3 for 28 minutes, and you will most likely have a Pikachu. It's not guaranteed, because the rule of probability works is that it's when 63.33333% of people achieve it. So that's typically average. So if you drop the probability milestones, you are almost guaranteed to get a shiny Pikachu in 2 hours and 11 minutes, assuming you have the shiny charm. This is all assuming you have the shiny charm. And you will be almost 80% at 45 minutes. Anyway, if you're just going for a shiny Pikachu and that's it, using the fast travel method, that's how long it will take. However, the average time for a specific shiny alpha will take 9 hours, 29 minutes, and 6 seconds. That's going to take a very, 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 very long time to be able to actually get that alpha, especially for Pikachu. But there is another method that could be up your alley if you're interested. Now, let's say you're either in the really early game or you're very impatient, which I totally understand. There is an alpha Pikachu spawn in Wild Zone 6. So we're going to go there now, and I'm going to show you where to go. You're going to go through the gate here, and you're going to just kind of run over to here, past the Houndours, the Alpha Houndoom, the 2 Meditites that should be in there, unless they're day only spawns. It might only be day only spawns. Then you go up the ladder here, and on the roof here we have, ta-da, your Alpha Pikachu. Some of you might say, well, that is a great idea that it's up there. All I need to do is just fast travel to Cafe Batali over and over and over and over again like this, because it's within the 50 meters and will be great. No, you won't, because we recently discovered, or it's become a lot more widespread as I have been educated, if you're about 15 meters above ground, it does not work. It does not spawn Pikachu. So right now, Pikachu is not spawned. So if you want to spawn the Pikachu, there are 2 ways that you can go about it. If you want to also potentially get a whole bunch of other shinies in this area, a shiny Houndour, a shiny Houndoom, or a shiny Alpha Houndoom, and there's Meditites here during the day as well, you can climb up here, get to the top, and then travel here. Run over to here, climb, here Pikachu, and switch. So you can just do that over and over and over again, and that will essentially spawn for a Shelf of Pikachu. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, how long does this take? Well, we timed it, and it takes about 15 seconds per reset. So we're going to go back to our calculator over here, and we're actually just going to switch over to simple, okay? If we just want to calculate for Pikachu and nothing else, we can click 1, and then we're going to click custom, and we're going to say 15, right? We're going to click calculate hunt. It's going to take about 4 hours, 50 minutes, and 5 seconds for that Alpha Pikachu, that's static, to be shiny if you continue to do resets in this method. And that is essentially how you would get your shiny Alpha Pikachu. And finally, last but not least, and it sounds wild, but by golly, you got to do it, get your Canary plushes. If you're unaware, those purple screws, those colorful screws that you find all around Lumio City, these things right here, these are important because they are going to help you unlock the Canary plushes. The Canary plushes can be unlocked at the Racine Construction, and you're going to want to talk to this vendor right here. And when you talk to that vendor, you're going to get different plushes. Now, some people are just like, you know, I got a few of them, but I don't need them. You're going to need them. You're going to need the blue Canary plushes, you're going to need the green Canary plushes, and you're going to need the gold Canary plushes, because the gold Canary plushes are going to help you with your previous quest of collecting money. Your green Canary plushes are going to help you from blacking out from taking damage, and your blue Canary plushes are going to help you for catching Pokemon, because when we get into the Mega Dimension, those Pokemon are going to be real tough to handle. Now, of course, as more information comes out and we learn more about the Mega Dimension, we'll be able to break that down and talk about it, and I'll try my best to give you guys guides on how to prepare for the Mega Dimension and to prepare the adventures with Hoopa. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video and our live stream. Bye-bye.